Hello lovely friends, here's a sneak peek of today's fluid art painting. There's something very different going on today. I'm doing what is known as an optical illusion, and so there are two things that appear in this painting really obviously, but then you look at it and think, is it really obvious? What am I seeing? Because two different people can see two completely different things, and that's what I love in life, the fact that you can create something, you see something, and then someone else sees something completely different. So I'm going to show you a little hint of the optical illusion I'm talking about, and I'll talk about that a little bit later on. There it is. And this is what I painted just really quickly. Okay, so today I just want to say thank you so much first of all to all my wonderful subscribers. I really appreciate every one of you. So today it's my birthday, and Kim and I thought this week we'd do a bit of a celebration with an Otherwordly collab. I'm loving this art journey with my dear friend Kim. I'll put the link to her video in the description below. So as always, I took inspiration on a walk, and I was lucky enough to see these beautiful finches taking off in flight. I was so excited about that. And then I went for a little celebration with Steve, my hubby, and Eve down to this beach. And it's a tiny little cove. It's a secret cove we discovered. If you go early in the morning, there's nobody there. So we had a morning swim there and a picnic, and that was just a perfect day. Really loved it. Just really simple. Just want to take this opportunity to say thank you so much to my wonderful friend Kim. You're such an inspiration to me. And thank you to my hubby and my family and all my friends and this art community. Every single one of you means so much to me, and I love you all. Okay, so we've got this painting today, and I've got a size 12 by 10 canvas inches. I've got a really simple palette, and I've got a black base, and I'm using my Fluorescent Yellow. I've started to use it lately, and it's unbelievable. It's a game changer for me. I'm even using it in place of gold. Now this was lime green, and I added a little bit, or actually I added a bit of black fell into it as I was doing a painting on the previous painting. And so I thought I'll add a bit of floetrol and just see what happens to that, because I wanted to create some cells, and I'm using something different later on. I mean, this is literally one drop of paint, which doesn't have a huge impact. But as ever, I love experimenting, and you can see where I place that drop of green later on and what else that I use. Okay, so I'll have all of the details in the description below. I've got my usual pouring medium. I had a class recently and people were saying, can we use water? And I do use just water sometimes, but I do find that the flow and the end result is so much better after trying so many different things out with using Liquitex pouring medium. But it's about experimenting, finding what fits for you and what you can use. And I have had some beautiful paintings that have turned out really well with just paint and water. So what I'm doing now is I'm using my heat gun to just let all the air bubbles go and just allow the paint to settle for a moment. And then I'm adding, as my first paint today, Iridescent silver, and I'm spreading it really gently across the canvas. So I'd like to create an effect where I'm blowing out from the centre to the outside, and I've got an idea in mind, and I'm just thinking with this optical illusion I want to create in my mind a sea goddess. I have someone in mind. There are two, well, there are probably more than two sea goddesses, but the main sea goddess, queen if you like, is Amphitrite, and she is the queen of the sea. But the one that I connect to is the Celtic goddess, and her name is Cleona. She's the goddess of the sea, the other world, and she loves passion, loves beauty, and she rules over the sea in Ireland and the Celtic Isles and in Cornwall. So as I'm based in Cornwall in the UK, it really sang to me, and I was called to her before I actually knew that she had that Celtic connection. And that's one of the things I love too, that when you're called to something or you're drawn to something, there's always a lovely reason behind it. Now, the reason why I'm doing an optical illusion today is because I created this piece and then my very, very dear friend Colin saw something opposite, as he often does. And I thought, you know what, I could see both of the things. And now the sea goddess and the dragon has come to life, but I've just given that away now. So stay with me and see what you can see as this painting is created. Each step of the story helps you to grow closer to what the optical illusion is, what it means for you, and how this was created. So you can see today I'm layering these paints in a certain way, and I'm using my emerald green and blue the most, and I'm using the heat gun very gently in between just to get rid of the bubbles as they come up, because each time you layer the paint sometimes bubbles can rise up, and if you do it throughout the process you're less likely to have bubbles at the end. So I'm using my hairdryer and I'm going from the centre outwards, and I'm just loving that really ethereal, almost wing-like feeling, and that fluorescent yellow really adds to the highlights. So I'm literally going out from the centre, and at this point I don't have an exact figure in mind, but I had a butterfly or something that's light, but I also wanted it to be sea related because I just love the sea so much. I love the mountains too, and when I've got the sea and the mountains together, that is literally my dream, and that's my husband's dream as well. When we first met, he used to love the mountains and I used to love the sea, and now we're lucky enough to live somewhere where they're not particularly mountains, but there are big hills and rocky hills and the sea very close by. And I just think nature is such a draw. Cornwall is one of those places that it's hard to get to, but once you're here, it's just the most beautiful place. So I'm using my skewer to bring the base colour through and to play with the layers of paints, so that I wanted to bring some of the definition through the centre. And as I'm beginning to form this painting, I was first of all thinking, is it a plant? Is it a leaf? Is it seagrass? Is it a creature? And I wanted to give it a bit of form. So I carried on just looking at it and getting a sense of it. And I thought, you know what, I can really see a sea goddess. And I think it was because I wanted to see a sea goddess. Now this is a bit of a clue for that optical illusion. The optical illusion I was talking about was developed by a German guy many, many years ago. And it was taken up then by a British cartoonist who was saying, can you see your mother-in-law or can you see your wife in it? And then later on there were some studies done on it, and it showed that whatever you see in that optical illusion shows your age. So it can either be, and as we grow older we tend to see things differently due to our set of experiences in life. And if you can keep part of your mind that stays childlike, or is renewed, or is seeing things from a beginner's mind, it's amazing what you start to see in life. And it's also amazing sharing what you see with others. One of the things I love, and this painting is an example of that, is the dark and the light, because everything in life has dark and life, and I see that in everything that I know and see and feel. And as I was having this painting develop, I could see, oh my god, I love that light in the middle and the dark on the outside. It just goes together so nicely. Now then, I don't know if you noticed, but I added silicone, and I added quite a few drops of silicone when I was blowing out the hairdryer. And with silicone, I find that when you place the drops just around the centre and blow it out, The cells, the peacock cells that are developed are just so beautiful, and they go towards the outside of the paintings and they create certain patterns. That's something to bear in mind when you're using silicone oil, if you don't already put it into the paint and mix it up, which if you add silicone oil in the paint before you do the painting, it'll have a different effect as well. So as the painting went on, I was studying it and thinking, how can I create more of a goddess? So I got my skewer and I started to put some gold and form a tail. And this is where not only the sea creature or the double sea creature appears at the same time, but what I saw was the sea goddess, because that's what I wanted to see. And when I showed it to my friend Colin, he saw a dragon. Isn't that interesting? So when you look at mythical creatures and you see sea dragons and you see sea goddesses, or you see sea grass, or you see a turtle, whatever it is, it's the most likely thing that you want to see if someone else can see something different in it. I don't think I've done a painting before where it's so obviously two different things. And when he said dragon, I thought, how can you see that? And he said, turn the painting upside down. So I did, and I could see the dragon. I love to hear what you can see and what you saw first. See shortly as she takes shape.
I've been dreaming of that feeling, darling. I can stay right here, close to you, my dear, you, my dear. Oh, I got you now and forever. As long as we're together, there's nothing we can't do. Oh, I got you. All the good and bad times, staring into your eyes. I know this love is true. Oh, powder blue, powder blue. As long as I got you. Night sky got me fighting off the sunrise. Every little thing
I hope you've enjoyed this otherworldly fluid art piece today, and I'd love to know if you have any ideas about otherworldly pieces. So happy birthday to my lovely friend Chrissy from Sun Kissed Chrissy. Please give her some love and support on her channel today. And I want to wish Kathy from Grandma Kathy's Art Venture a very happy birthday this week as well. My fellow Libran, please go and check out her channel and see what she's created. And please check out the tag team. And that's August from August Acrylic Art and Tonya from Creations by Tonya. So here's the end result. My sea goddess Cleona, or my mythical dragon. Which do you see? Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to my beautiful friend Kim. I can't wait to see her creation. Let's go and have a look. Please check out her channel. Her link is in the description below. Kim's Art Alchemy. Wow, she is amazing. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget, your art is a piece of you, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye bye from Eve. Bye.